What's up, everybody? Today, welcome back to. We're going to be talking about what it takes to find your network marketing leaders. And I wonder if you've ever been in this place before. I remember when I got into my business and I finally learned the skills and I worked up the courage to finally get my first enrollment. I don't know if you felt this way or not, but I remember thinking, they're going to be my superstar. We're going to retire rich together. And around a month or two later, what do you know? They ended up backing out and quitting. And then I would keep on going and going and going. And then you start to think to yourself, when am I ever going to find a leader? Am I the only one that's kind of crazy about this? Well, today we're going to address exactly how to find a leader, what it takes. And I want to let you know it's a simple mathematical equation that any of us can do. So if this sounds interesting, be sure to put a 1 in the comments if you relate with that at all. And subscribe if you haven't already. Let's dive into this. So I remember I was in a space where I had built a okay business. I was getting customers. I was building the team. We're making some income. But I wanted to build the big business. I wanted to find my leaders. It's the dream for anybody in network marketing that's building this significantly to find somebody that is as hungry as you are, maybe even hungrier. And you would see the stories of people on the stages. You hear stories like people kind of just almost luckily finding somebody that ended up being a 6-7 figure earner. And like, why doesn't that happen to me? So one day I went to my mentor and I was kind of complaining. And I was like, Tim, I don't know, man. I think I'm the only one that's as serious as me. Like, who's going to be willing to put in the work I do? Who's going to be as persistent that I'm going to be? Who's going to go through all the no's like I am? And what he said was this. He said he did the math. And if you know my mentor, Tim, he is somebody that is huge on stats. If you're taking down notes in business, be metrics driven, not just feelings driven. So what he actually did is he pulled back the compensation plan. And you can see the entire tree. And he found an interesting ratio that held true not just for the company we're in, but also for the companies around the world as well too. And here is the stat. Out of every 40 partners in your organization, statistically, one of them will be a leader. Out of every 40, one will be a leader. Comment the number 40 just to let me know that you got that down. Because if you know the game, then it's going to allow you to be able to really scale your business, allow you less emotional stress, and allow you to be a lot more excited about what you do because you have a finish line. 40. And what is a leader? We have to make sure we define that correctly. A leader isn't just someone that says they're a leader. A leader isn't someone that's super excited and everything. A leader is somebody that is willing to do the pipeline themselves, meaning they're willing to prospect, they're willing to recruit, they're willing to sell. You don't have to tell them what to do. They figure it out. And a leader is somebody that eventually can become a 6-figure earner. So 40 people equals one leader. Now, depending on your compensation plan, the one that we're partnered with 2 leaders, that equals a $10,000 a month passive income for whoever it is that finds those 2 leaders. So here's the math. 80 partners in your business, you can make a 6-figure income over the course of time. Now, they might take some time to develop. Some people are leaders right away. Some people are people. I was not a leader right away. I never thought I'd be a leader. It took me years to finally understand enough and go through life enough and finally make the decision to actually want to go to the next level. But when I spoke to Tim and I finally figured out that there was a game, 2 feelings came about. And I hope that you take this the right way. Here was the wrong way. My first feeling was this. That's a lot of people. How am I going to find 40 people? Like, oh my gosh, like that sounds so difficult. The second way is the successful way. And I hope this is how you take it as well too. The second way is, that's it. I got the game. Let me go figure out how to crack the code on how to find 40 people. And I chose to do that. And this is what ended up happening. That year, I went on a giant recruiting spree. That year, I ended up recruiting around 100 people personally. Now, you might ask, well, James, how'd you do that? Honestly, you got to make a decision first, and then the ways will come. Most people are not great recruiters in their network marketing business just because they have not made the decision. And why? I don't blame us, because you might be thinking, well, what's the point? How does this business actually work? Because maybe you've been used to recruiting here and there, and you're not used to your business blowing up. Well, now I had a game. And you know what happened? This was interesting. And this is my suggestion to you. Whenever you hear things like this, if it makes sense to you, test it. Don't doubt it, just test it. Be an open-minded skeptic, but don't ding it until you try it. It's easy to say that something doesn't work if you don't try it. Even with MLM, you know what's funny is when I meet people, they're like, MLMs don't work. And I ask them, what's your experience? They're like, I've never done it before. It's like, I mean, how do you say that? Like, I appreciate and I respect the opinions of someone that's actually tried something and then they went full in and then it didn't actually give them that experience. But if it's someone that's never done it, anywho, side tangent there. So I gave it a shot. I personally sponsored 100 people that year into my business. And you know what happened? This was crazy. I actually looked at the numbers and I looked at who actually came out. Out of the 100 people, 2 of them were leaders. 2 of them. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. The math actually worked. Now, the 40 people to get 1 leader, it doesn't just have to be you, yourself, and you. It can be within your team. You can taproot, you can duplicate, you can do all of that. But you have to know that there's a number. But Tim also said this to me as well, too. He said, be willing to do it all yourself. Let me just call this out right now. If you're real serious about actually developing a 6-figure plus income in a network marketing business, you got to treat it like a business. There has to be a certain mindset about things. And this is it. Most people in network marketing, and I'll call myself out, are lazy. I'm just talking to me. Oh, what do you mean by that, James? So, all right, let me tell you how we think. We want to do the least amount of work to find the couple superstars that will hopefully build the business for us, even though we say we want to serve and help people and impact people. We want to do the minimal amount of work to find somebody that's super pumped up and excited and kind of just hope and pray that they're like that dream leader and that you can sit back and relax and go do life. I won't ask for participation on that question, but if you feel at all convicted about that, we got to challenge that right now. Now, can that happen? Yes. But is that something you're willing to bank your dream on? You see, this is what I thought. Finally, I had to get over that thinking as well, too. In anything in life, if you want to do well, if you want to be a professional in sports, if you want to be a professional in the medical field, if you want to be a professional in any business, it's going to take new skills. It's going to take some challenge. It's going to take going through some fear. It's going to take some repetition. But you know what I realized was this? I said, I should look at this business like a 6-7-figure earner. I should think and adopt the same mind state. If Tim, someone that's produced billions and billions of sales, is saying to me as a coach and a mentor, you should be willing to recruit all of those yourself, then if I don't absorb that mindset, then I am not doing things the way that he does it, and I'm bound to fail. But if I want his results, if you want the results of someone that you admire, you have to be willing to do what they do the way that they do it. Put a 2 in the comments if that makes sense. It's always going to feel weird. It's always going to feel scary. When I heard I needed to recruit 40 people, that shocked me because that was a lot at first. But what happened is I said, I want this bad. How bad do you want your business to explode? How bad do you want your life to change? How bad do you actually want this thing to actually finally have the MLM code be cracked? Then you have to be willing to adopt someone else's mindset, adopt someone else's work. This is what I realized after the fact, by the way. The initial part of this was tough. I had to learn some new things. I had to learn how to market myself. I had to learn how to go on social media. I had to learn how to get out of my comfort zone. I had to learn some skill sets. But you know what was crazy? Is at the end of the day, once it was all said and done, it was a lot easier than the way I was doing it before. Well, James, how is doing more easier? Because if you're doing work anyway, if you're building your business anyway, you're already putting in time, energy, and money, aren't you? But wouldn't you rather put in the time, energy, and money and get way better results? So I spent the same amount of time. I just tweaked the intention. I just had a goal and a focus now. And it actually happened. And oh, here's the cool thing. Once you do it, you can do it over and over and over and over again. It's not a hard thing. It's only hard because you don't know how to do it yet. Anything's hard if you don't know how to do it yet. But today I just want to present to you the idea in the equation that will definitely work. Out of 40 people in your team, one will be a six-figure earner. One will be a leader. You find two, depending on your compensation plan, that's a six-figure income. Last note is this. Think about anything that can produce a six-figure income. I think about professional careers. You might need to be a doctor, a nurse. You might need to be an engineer. You might need to be an upper-level manager somewhere. Think about what it takes to make a six-figure income in any business. Real estate, less than 5% of people in real estate, I think less than 1% of people in real estate agents actually make a six-figure income. How much time, energy, and money, studies, work do they have to put in to actually make a six-figure income? You know what's cool about network marketing if you do this right? Yes, it's going to take some skills. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some rejection. It's going to take some no's. It's going to take some discomfort. But at the end, you can do this relatively quickly. You don't have to go to more school. You don't have to drive. You can literally be working from your phone these days. But at the end of the day, you can not only make a six-figure income, but you can make a residual income if built right. And not only that, network marketing can be an exponential residual income. What does that mean? This is the only business that I know that when you stop working, if you build it right, your people will continue to grow and expand. You'll continue to see your checks rise because your leadership was able to get duplicated. Tell me a better deal than that on a financial basis. I don't think there's anything else. So that's why when I understood this stat, it takes 40 to find one. I made the decision, I made the commitment, and I said, whatever it takes, I'm going to figure this out. If you do that too, your life and your MLM business will completely change. So I wonder if this makes sense at all. I wonder if you're up for this. If you're actually inspired to take that action to say, I'm going to do that, and be bold about it, be real about it, put a 10 in the comments. I'm not asking you to put a deadline, but it'll happen over the course of time. It will never happen if you don't make a decision. And by the way, if you like more help on this as well too, you might have heard I've put together a whole system because there's a way of thinking about things and there's a way of doing things. If you want to do this faster, it's better to have some type of system. So I've put together what I've built with for the last decade plus, the exact system that I do every single day in my business that's allowed us to be able to build a global business just from our phones and allowed us to duplicate around the world. I put a system of skill sets and mindset together. I'm calling it the MLM Business Blueprint. If you'd like some more information on that, then take a look at it. I'm offering it just for now. It's in the link in the caption, or feel free to shoot me a message, and I'd love to share more details with you on that. But regardless, understand this is the game. If you truly want to make some significant income, this isn't for the person that just wants $500 a month, a free product or whatever, which is fine. This is for the person that truly wants to make some type of income that you can be proud of, your family can be proud of, and can actually transform your life. 40 to get 1. All right. Stay tuned for the future ones. I might show you a way to hack that as well too in next videos. But if this was helpful, subscribe to my YouTube for these tips plus a lot more. Share this video with someone, maybe a teammate that you think needs this well too. And other than that, have a great rest of your day.